Starting with getting our feet wet by crossing the Rio Grande, we headed out on a 5-night, 6-day backpacking trip into the San Juan Mountains of Colorado. On this trip, I am accompanying Coach, his 8-month-old lab Buddy, and my Aunt Catherine of Cat Adventures. The 6 days of this trip take place in the Weminuche Wilderness, which is Colorado's largest wilderness area. This part of the wilderness is managed by the Rio Grande National Forest. We would be traversing lush glaciated valleys, subalpine and upper montane forests. We also seemed to hit the jackpot with timing, as the wildflowers were in full bloom, but the mosquitoes were quiet. Got some wild strawberries in here.
Oh, there's poop right here. Is this bear scat? Let me see. Hard to say, it's very old. Whatever it is.
We can't waste any.
It's getting every drop.
Good morning. It's day 2 in the San Juans. Yesterday we headed out of the Ute Creek Trail and hiked 6.5 miles to where we are here, just past Black Lake. It was a beautiful hike yesterday, primarily through forests, and just where we are camping right now is where it opened up into some wider landscape views, and I'm really excited to see what today has in store for us. We did get a little bit of rain in the afternoon as we had come into camp, which is to be expected during this time of year in the Colorado mountains, but it didn't stay for long. So it was a wonderful evening. It was a little bit rough on sleep last night. I didn't get much sleep, so I'm getting a little bit later start than everyone else because I did sleep a little bit this morning. So I'm just going to make a quick breakfast and then break camp. We're going to try to hit the trail early and try to get some pretty decent mileage in for today. I'm excited.
You ready to go hiking? Oh, he found that mountain.
Oh, from yesterday. Graceful. Tonight we're camping at West Ute Lake, and it's absolutely beautiful here. I love an alpine lake. It was also exciting because although we weren't planning to camp here and ended up just kind of setting up shelters real quick due to a storm that we got caught in, after the storm passed, I climbed up the pass that's behind you, and that was along the Continental Divide trail. I got up to 12,220 feet. That's the highest I've ever been, and that's kind of exciting. I do have aspirations to hit 13ers and 14ers, hopefully this year, but I gotta celebrate the victories where they come. It actually felt really good, and I'm glad I got a few more miles in today since we only managed to get 5 in. So tomorrow we have some miles to make up, and I think that's becoming a trend a little bit on this trip. But we're totally fine, and the nice thing is that we're able to adapt our itinerary as need be. So I think we're still going to get to see all of the things that we're hoping to see and visit some locations that we're hoping to visit, but maybe make some adjustments on the back end of things. We're just kind of winding down for the evening. We're packing up dinner and probably going to hide away in our tents pretty soon. I'm hoping I'll be able to sleep well tonight. I did not sleep well at all last night. I think I tried to go to bed when I wasn't quite tired enough yet. And I also had a lot going through my mind. And that's kind of been the case with me lately, just because there's been so many changes and so many things to ruminate on and think about. And I haven't been in good practice of quieting my mind myself. I've just been seeking out distractions like social media, and so it's really good for me to be spending this many consecutive days off the grid where I can just put into good practice ways to quiet my mind and just work through kind of what I'm thinking about and come to some peace about what I want to do and all of that kind of stuff without getting into too much detail. I think it's pretty relatable for a lot of people. Like we look to social media and things like that as a distraction, and I don't necessarily think that that's a healthy habit to have. So when I'm forced to be away from it, I do value that. It can be a little hard sometimes, but that's a pretty good indication that I'm not using it properly to begin with. So I'll see you guys in the morning. The plan for this day had us crossing the Continental Divide and dropping down into the basin beyond. The Continental Divide separates the watersheds of the Pacific Ocean from those of the Atlantic and Arctic Oceans. While we may most commonly think of the Continental Divide as running from New Mexico to Canada, the divide actually extends from the Seward Peninsula of Alaska to the tip of South America.
How does it feel, buddy?
Cresting the ridge. Woo-hoo. I'm gonna check the elevation. Pretty sure this is the highest I've been. Woo! 12,460. Woohoo! Pretty amazing.
Buddy, where are you going? See you later.
Is he trying to get
Do
your
you want to go to bed?
He's like, I've had my dinner.
Done with this. Yeah.
I was like, you people are boring me. I've had enough of you. Unless you're going to give me some kibble or...
He's tired.
That's funny.
Relatable.
I know.
Not be alarmed, there is a deer outside of your tent. Yeah.
Careful, buddy.
Good morning on day 4 of our 6-day backpacking trip in the San Juans. Yesterday we crested the Continental Divide and then dropped down via the CDT, meeting up with the Vallecito Trail. We followed the Vallecito Trail down to where it splits off from Rock Creek, and there was a great meadow for camping. We got there just in time to set up before a storm rolled in. It did clear enough to give us a pretty spectacular and different kind of sunset last night, and that was really nice. This morning, it's a little bit of a leisurely morning since we don't have very many miles to do today, and the miles that we have should not be very challenging. One of the downfalls in sleeping in a meadow nearby to a creek is that you're bound to have a lot of condensation. And so we woke up this morning with pretty wet tents, so it's good to have that leisurely time to wait for the sun to hit our tents to dry everything out before packing up and hitting the trail. Something we came to time and again with this trip was making adaptations to our plan to accommodate for the conditions and desires of the group. Living fully immersed in the environment and moving with it as one organism, being present, finding peace in the order of living things. Quieting our minds about the things that we cannot control. You gonna carry that pack for me, buddy?
No. Hell no.
Can I ride you? What are you doing? It's so peaceful right here.
It is. The only thing that makes me nervous is those clouds.
Those clouds.
But what's it gonna do? Just be rain, you know?
Buddy, come here, buddy.
And the lightning storm.
Yeah, if there's lightning, that's
Snap,
true.
come
We're
here.
up here too, and we're exposed.
We're okay in here. There are 5 units.
Buddy, over here.
Coming through! On the trail! Hey, Moose! Hey, Moose! Coming through! Hey, Moose! Coming through! Healing.
On the trail.
Hey, Moose! Coming through!
We're gonna just pass on by.
On the trail! Coming through! Hey, Moose! Bye!
Sometimes you hunker down and wait for the storm to pass. Sometimes you look around and realize the world has become a cloud, so you pack up and head for higher ground in hopes that you'll rise above it.
It's a beautiful morning. Nah. It's very wet. It's a little bit cold, but we're working hard. We are climbing about 2.5 miles up to the Continental Divide from Flint Lakes. So we packed up everything wet, hitting the trail full rain gear. Got my puffy on underneath. My hands are a little cold, but we are doing a lot of bushwhacking, and so that is definitely helping me stay warm because there is quite a bit of overgrowth and I'm having to use all of my might, okay, not all of it, but a considerable amount of strength to push past some of these branches. Then our packs are heavy because everything is wet. That is all the negative stuff. But as you can see, I am still smiling. I am still happy to be out here and I'm having a great time. You know, it's not all going to be sunshine and you can't have rainbows without the rain. What's that? Is that a real smile?
Type 2.
Type 2 smile. Yeah, tons of bear scat. They love it here. They seem to love it here. I can see why. Nothing like traversing down a meadow through the willows and every third step seeing a pile of bear scat. It's an adventure, right?
The time on trail during this trip reminded me that there's no sense in worrying about elements outside my control. The best I can do is prepare adequately, respond with courage to what's happening around me, seek higher ground when I'm lost in the fog, and, all the while, move with peace in the journey. Yeah. And there, and there, and there, and there, and there. Right. So, oh, no, you're not on a repeat tonight. I'm on a three-peat. My beef tacos.
Well, I'll pretend.
You'll pretend. What have you got in there?
Got my chili macaroni.
Oh, that looks so good. Can't wait to have mine.
Good morning on day 6. As you can see, we have another rainy morning on our hands. It is forecasted to rain all day today. Today we are headed back out, and in fact, you can see behind me here, just below that low cloud bank, that's actually where we camped the first night. So today we are backtracking on the same trail out to the Ute Creek Trailhead, and this is the first time in the 6 days that we have repeated a portion of trail. That being said, I am going to actually end the video here, and we'll make quick work of getting out today so that we can get dry and warm a little bit later. Thank you so much for joining me on this trip. I had a fantastic experience, and I hope you liked watching. And I will see you again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.